Good afternoon. It is Monday, April 10th, 2023. We have a few birthdays and a few events. So we'll start off with the events. Excuse me. On this date in 1971, Bobby Isaac won the Greenville 200 at the Greenville Pickens Speedway. Not really anything surprising, except that was the first ever NASCAR race televised flag to flag on ABC Sports. It is up on YouTube. A few people have uploaded it. I did receive this race in a trade many, many years ago when we were doing tape trades over the years. It's a very interesting race to watch. I recommend you go back and watch this race. I think it's only about an hour or so long, maybe an hour and a half at most. But the footage, it's very, very unique compared to what we enjoy today. Plus, just the commentary is very interesting. Next up, on this date in 1983, Harry Gant won at Darlington. He only led the last two laps. Darrell Waltrip was dominant. Well, actually, Jeff Bodine had dominated the race. He kind of had some issues late in the race. Darrell Waltrip took over, and then his engine soured. So as they were coming to the white flag, Harry Gant passed him, led the white flag and the checkered flag lap only. Mark Martin was third that day, but it was a crash-filled day. A lot of top contenders taken out in a first lap crash. On this day in 1988 at Bristol, I was there that day. Bill Elliott won his first career Cup Series short track race. Rick Wilson did win the pole, his only career Cup Series pole, but he was eliminated in an early accident, and this race also had several caution flags as well. On this date in 1994, Dale Earnhardt won the Food City 500 at Bristol. Again, no big surprise. Probably the biggest surprise was Dave Marcus finished 10th, and this would be his final career top 10 finish. And our final event on this day in 2004, Michael Waltrip won at Nashville Superspeedway after, excuse me, after many of the leaders. I think he was running 4th or 5th on the final green flag lap, and everybody in front of him tangled. I know Clint Boyer, Robbie Gordon, Johnny Sauter, or Johnny Benson, and a couple others were in it, maybe Johnny Sauter as well. But it was a wild scramble for the lead on the backstretch, and Michael just thread his way through. We do have one cardless birthday today. Howie DiSavino III was born on this date in 2001. Our first birth date born on this date in 1944 was a longtime car owner that gave many, many drivers opportunities, including Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, Tim Richmond, Ernie Irvan. Those are among the few that, and even Richard Petty has driven his cars for at least one race. And that owner, Mr. D.K. Ulrich. DK never had a fully funded top flight team, but he was always there. And I recommend y'all go back in a few months in the archive on the Scene Vault podcast. There's a 3-part interview with DK. Go listen to that interview. Really goes into a lot of depth as to what the independent car owners had to do to qualify for races. I mean, you're not talking about winning races. You're talking about merely qualifying for races. So pretty interesting stories there. Up next, we have a past Cup Series Rookie of the Year. And this driver was just recently named to the top 75 drivers in NASCAR history. Though I'm not sure that I agree with it yet. We'll have to see how the rest of the list pans out and who's omitted. But born on this date in 1980, Kasey Kahne. And I got these cards a little bit out of order. But he started off driving those famous red Dodges that you see there for Ray Evernham, at least in the Cup Series. Then he got released, went to Red Bull, drove there for 1 year. Then he went to Hendrick, drove there for a few years, and then he ended up at Levine Family Racing before he fell ill and retired from Cup Series racing. There's a good look at the car that he won Rookie of the Year with in 2005, won his first Cup race in 2006. Here's another look at the car. Didn't change much when they went to the Budweiser livery. I like this version. That's probably my favorite version of the number 9 Dodge that he drove, that particular paint scheme. There's the Red Bull Toyota. Always thought that was a nice looking ride as well. he did dabble in the Busch Series. So here he is driving the Aikens number 38 Great Clips Taurus in Toyota. So I think that's pretty interesting there. Same team, they just rebranded when he switched. And then there he is driving for Junior Motorsports. And our probably most significant birthday, well, without question, most significant birthday in racing today. A lot of you will know this name, and he always started off the broadcast with a good day. Born on this date in 1935, Mr. Ken Squier. So he was one of the voices of my childhood. Listened to him a lot on CBS and WTBS. Very, very poetic in the way he would, especially when he would eulogize or he would make, when they would have special reports and he would talk about people. He was very, very good wordsmith. So I know he's had some not great health recently, last few years, but hopefully he has a great day today. So lots of, again, lots of events. 3 pretty cool birthdays that I didn't know those 3 shared. So again, part of this, we learn a little something every day. So thanks again for watching. Come back and see us tomorrow.